Myron never expected Abba and Preach would do this. We're on the road to 100K. Okay, if you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Shouts out to O'Shea Duke. Let's see what it's hitting for.
About 2 weeks ago, Myron and Sneeko had a debate, and the debate revolved around the rise of Islam in America. And I won't go into great detail about the outcomes of what happened here, but it's a consensus that many people in the comments and other creators watching this interaction felt that Myron lost, and lost big. And one of those critics were Abba and Preach.
Really?
After Sneeko had seen Myron making some comments about Muslims, they decided to get up on a stream and talk it out. And, I'm going to start by saying, I think a lot of people, including myself, were wrong about Sneeko in some regards.
Abba and Preach went live with the YouTube video called Sneeko Destroys Fresh and Fit in Debate. Myron crashes out. And we were wrong about Sneeko. They made 2 videos about the debate, in which Myron came out as the loser, according to them. Myron would then go on to his YouTube channel and create a response video called Abba Exposed for running from debate with Myron. Now, of course, these two have a tumultuous history, but I'll get back to that in a second. Myron then talks about in his live stream about him and Abba setting up some type of debate.
5:03 p.m. And this one they were streaming yesterday. Anus and Reach need their rent money. No wonder they make vids on us at the end of the month. So he goes, you want to hop on our live next time? You can ask nicely. We always welcome our favorite pay pig to join. Debate is welcome. I said, awesome. I didn't even hesitate. Awesome. Let's do it face to face. No violence, no ad homs. We can have a real discussion.
So there is Myron trying to set up some level of debate with Abba. I believe that's Abba on the other end he's talking to. And of course, Myron is hinting at some level of a real life debate. Okay? And then it continues.
So he says, Monday the 3rd, 7 p.m. Put up a list of things you want to cover 100%. And we can go beyond that if need be. So I go, in person, question mark? I'm in Vegas that week. Any other dates work. And you guys know that I've had this shit planned for several days now, that I was going to go to Vegas. We're live every Monday. No need to be in real life. Just phone in. If not, the 3rd, you can do the 10th. So I respond, when's the next time you're in Florida? You both are welcome to come to the studio and we can respectfully hash our grievances out like men.
So again, he's reiterating the fact that he would like a real life debate and not a Zoom or a YouTube live. And he's saying, hey, let's just handle our issues out like men. With debate, we've been beefing for a long time. But then this happened.
Nothing to hash out. I don't rock with you. That won't change. If you want to debate topics, then you can provide a list and we set it up. Otherwise, GG, which stands for good game. So I respond, yeah, and I don't rock with you either.
Abba responds to this. Nothing to hash out. I don't rock with you. That won't change. If you want to debate topics, then you can provide a list and we set it up. Otherwise, good game.
Nigga, he just...
So it's clear that Abba doesn't like Myron and vice versa. But there was a time where they did physically collaborate. This actually happened. But I'll get back to that later. So Myron says, yeah, and I don't rock with you either. Why are you avoiding a face-to-face debate? Why not? Abba and Preach respond, are you hooked on phonics? You asked for a debate. I set my terms. You've got a tiny channel pulling in 20K per vid. I ain't moving an inch for your failed solo career. So you can accept your dog-ish circumstances and do business accordingly.
Woo!
He also says, or you can go yap on Rumble for pennies. Then Myron says, bro is really using any excuse he can to avoid talking face to face. Now this really pissed off Myron, and he would go on to his channel to then start pulling up numbers.
So they have 2 million subscribers, 2.26. I got 420. Pulling in 19 million views the last 30 days. They pulled in 7.6 mil. So, Abba, what's your excuse, bro? What's your excuse? Oh, your channel's not pulling views. That's a lie, bro. I have
Now, Fresh and Fit does post a lot of clips and shorts. Now, and that will inflate your numbers like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Abba and Preach be posting clips and shorts like that.
damn near triple your guys' views, and you guys got 2 million subscribers. What are you talking about? This is objectively not true.
So he goes on the Social Blade and he's proven to the audience that, in fact, he is getting more views than Abba and Preach is currently. But he wouldn't stop there.
And just so you guys know, I started doing this show when? You guys are all my witnesses. I started doing this show in January of 2025. We started 186,000 subscribers. What are we at now? 420. So he goes ahead and used the excuse of, oh, your videos don't get views. What, nigga? Like, what are you talking about? I get more views than you, and you got like way more subscribers than me.
So Myron is saying, listen, I'm getting more views than you. I mean, obviously, you're acting like I'm a person that's not qualified to be on the same level as you. But clearly I am. I mean, Social Blade is telling the story. And this is the issue with somebody like Myron. Because if you just look at views on social media, yeah, you would think that Myron is, a better creator than Abba and Preach. Or at least he's getting more views than Abba and Preach.
Abba and Preach don't post nearly as much as Fresh and Fit does either, though.
But you gotta understand
So they get more views per video.
the wider context, okay? Abba and Preach, in my honest opinion, are not necessarily view hunting. They're not going around trying to be polarizing. They have some of the widest content spectrum that I've seen with a reaction channel. A lot of guys just stick to, let's say, something that's going on with relationships or politics. But Abba and Preach cover a wide variety of content. And the content that they cover is so wide, it's almost impossible to hit a big video every single time. And they do this on purpose, not because they're chasing a bag, but to be true to their audience. So they don't mind having a down month in which they're having 7 or 8 million views or taking time off. They're trying to be true to the craft as much as they can be. And they're doing so without being polarizing. They give really good intellectual opinions about so many different things. But that cannot necessarily be said about Myron. Myron goes around trying to be famous, going over to college campuses, being offensive to Jews, being offensive to blacks, being offensive to gays. So obviously when you're polarizing on the internet, you're going to get views. That's also
true.
how he got demonetized, by trying to be too polarizing.
Woo!
So no, Myron is not more successful than Abba and Preach. Not as a podcast, not as a content creator. His content strategy is not about being good. It's about being disrespectful. So of course, a person that's disrespectful will typically have more views than somebody who's being intellectual.
This is very true.
That's number one. Number two, rewind. Let's go back to why Abba doesn't want to meet Myron. Now, Myron will have you believe that, Abba and Preach, or Abba doesn't want to talk face to face because he's afraid. This is the, straw man's argument that Myron is trying to use. And of course, Myron is not a really good debater. I believe that Sneeko proved that. But the reality is that if Abba was afraid to pull up on Myron, he would have never come. And in fact, he did come in 2021. He came by himself, all right? It was Fresh and Fit there. It was Abba there. And then Preach had called in from Canada, all right? What happened is this. Abba came to Miami to the studio. He came, obviously he wasn't paid for it, did the commentary, had a good time. Fresh and Fit, like they did everybody around this time frame, including Kevin Samuels, talked about Abba behind his back, all right? This is the same thing that got, me beefing with Fresh and Fit. It came directly from Kevin Samuels' mouth. Now, I'm the kind of person that records conversations offline, but I was yelling at Myron one day on the phone, and Myron admitted that he was going around calling Kevin Samuels homosexual names. He was calling other content creators, talking behind their backs, calling them the F word, the one that rhymes with maggot. And he was that kind of person. So you can't trust an individual like this, and that's the wider context. The wider context is Myron Gaines is not to be trusted. He's a disrespectful, disloyal person. So why would you go to a podcast studio with a person that disrespects the people that come onto a show?
Facts.
This is one of the reasons
Facts.
why Kevin Samuels fell out with
He
it.
ain't lying. He ain't lying. That man trying to protect his energy. You know what I'm saying? He sees what it's really gonna be though. You know what I'm saying? Ab will see what it's really gonna be if he go up there and do that stream. You know what I'm saying? Do that podcast, that video.
Now, Kevin Samuels went to Fresh and Fit when they were just getting started. I mean, Kevin is the one that really kind of blew them up. All right? Never gave Kevin any money initially. He came there basically to help them out. What did Myron say about Kevin Samuels? All sorts of egregious, nasty things. Called the man all kind of gay names, gay slurs. Then when the man died, he profited off his death, had a rest in peace Kevin Samuels stream, didn't donate any money to the funeral, nothing like that. He didn't do anything, okay?
That's what they
but
do.
He hated Kevin Samuels. And he hated Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels was the one that exposed to me how Myron was really treating people. And of course, they had that fallout about the time slot. But the real fallout was about the betrayal that Myron had. And this is why the whole Abba and Preach beef started, in my honest opinion, in the first place. Now, if I were to talk to Abba, he'd probably say, that's not necessarily true. Abba had just left Miami, and they took an opportunity to basically catch Fresh and Fit in the hypocrisy. If you guys remember in 2021, Abba and Preach challenged Fresh and Fit on the authenticity of their alpha male branding, right? Because these guys are talking about they don't pay for sex, they don't pay for girls. But I believe one of these guys, if not both of them, were kind of like on sugar daddy websites. Okay?
What?
And that's basically saying they pay for sex, which we definitely know that Myron
What the fuck is a sugar daddy website?
has done it. And we know that Fresh has done it, all right? Now, the reason for coming after Fresh and Fit was basically they had found out how Fresh and Fit talked badly behind their back. And Myron was arguing the entire time, when you guys just came to our studio, how can you go ahead and react to a video of ours critically or in a negative light? Well, the reality why they did that is because of your disrespect and talking behind their back. And that's why that beef has went on for so long. And Fresh and Fit responded with direct insults, talked about Preach's wife, talked about his homeland. It escalated with a boxing match that never ever happened, with Fresh and Fit backing out of it, or at least Fresh backing out of it. And so he wants to paint this guy as if he's a coward, when no, he's not a coward. The real coward is the person that talks behind the person's back, which is you.
Woo!
And the reality is that Abba and Preach lost the beef. They lost it in 2021 with Fresh and Fit, and Myron lost the debate with Sneeko. And then let me say this. If Myron feels that he is actually bigger than Abba and Preach, why is he asking for a debate? Okay? Why do you want to debate somebody that you know that you are bigger than? But wait, there's more.
So here's their channel, right?
I'm blind.
Garbage. These dudes provide no value, bro. I don't know who watches these niggas, man.
Clearly, he says here that Abba and Preach add no value. He can't believe that they get views. I mean, in the same light, you're saying that these guys are pretty much whack and they're disgusting. Well, then these are the same people that you want to debate. You want an in real life debate. And even if they were making content about you or responding to you, it wouldn't matter because these guys are not on your level, right?
He's right, you know.
But the reason why you want to do this is because you know that you've never gotten your get back from 2021 and you just took an L in 2025. Bro, it's been your fault the entire time. But what I believe is you'll get over it.
Woo!
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Jackson back.
Hey man, y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. We're on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I can get at y'all in the next one, and I'm gone. T.Y. Peter 9.